Imagine this. You're in the bunkhouse, surrounded by seasoned ranch hands, and the air is thick with tension. No one's holding back, and the words that fly cut sharper than any knife. This isn't just a place for hard work and sweat, it's where some of the most unforgettable burns in Yellowstone history happen. You've seen the dramatic stares and the heated moments, but what about the exchanges that leave you speechless? Today, we're breaking down the top 5 burns from the bunkhouse that still have us laughing and cringing every time we watch. Beth Dutton, the daughter of John Dutton, is known for a lot of things. Her fiery temper, her no-nonsense attitude, and of course her razor-sharp insults. When it comes to dishing out burns, Beth is unmatched. She doesn't just throw around words, she uses them as weapons, slicing through anyone who dares to challenge her. Whether it's her family, her enemies, or even her friends, no one is safe from the heat of her tongue. One of the most unforgettable burns from Beth happens in the early seasons of Yellowstone, when she delivers a scathing insult to a character who thinks they can mess with her. The scene takes place when Beth is confronting a business associate who underestimates her. He's got the classic "I'm in charge" attitude, but Beth quickly shuts that down with a few words that sting like a bee. The burn is sharp, quick, and it leaves everyone around her in stunned silence. Her ability to speak without hesitation while keeping her cool makes this burn iconic. In this scene, Beth's words are not just meant to insult, but to remind the character and the viewers that she's not someone to be taken lightly. She's got a sharp mind, a ruthless streak, and a history of making people regret crossing her. This moment is an essential piece of Beth's character development. It shows us exactly who she is, someone who will speak her mind, no matter the consequences. But Beth's burns don't stop there. She's quick to remind anyone who forgets their place in the hierarchy of the ranch. Whether it's Lloyd, Rip, or even her father John, she's always ready with a comeback that hits hard. Her ability to stay calm while delivering these jabs is part of what makes her burns so powerful. She doesn't just react to people, she's always in control of the situation, and that's what makes her so dangerous. Take, for example, her burn directed at Rip Wheeler in Season 1. While it's clear the two have a deep connection, their relationship is far from perfect. Rip, the loyal ranch hand, has his own demons, and Beth is quick to remind him of them. In this heated exchange, Beth doesn't hold back. She calls him out for his past mistakes, but she does it in a way that cuts straight to the heart of his insecurities. Rip's usually the tough guy in the group, but in this moment, Beth proves that her words can hit harder than any punch. The emotional weight behind this burn makes it all the more impactful. It's not just a witty comeback, it's a reminder of the history between them, the things they've both been through, and the raw emotions they carry. Beth's ability to combine sharp wit with raw emotion makes her burns memorable. They don't just serve as insults, they reveal something deeper about the character she's directing them at. Whether it's Lloyd's guilt, Rip's internal struggle, or even her own pain, Beth's burns are always loaded with meaning. She doesn't just tear down those around her, she forces them to confront their own flaws and mistakes. In the bunkhouse, Beth's burns become a powerful tool. They're not just about shutting people down, they're about keeping control over her surroundings and making sure no one forgets who's in charge. Even when the other characters try to one-up her or challenge her authority, she's always quick to remind them that her tongue is sharper than any blade they might be holding. And that's what makes her one of the most memorable characters on Yellowstone. She's not afraid to say what others are thinking, but she does it in a way that leaves no room for argument. As viewers, we can't help but be captivated by Beth's sharp tongue. Her burns are iconic because they don't just stand alone. They're a reflection of the world she's living in, a world where power, control, and survival are the keys to success. And in the world of Yellowstone, nobody does it better than Beth Dutton. "Oh, Minnie, you said, Rip Wheeler might be the quiet, stoic ranch hand who keeps things running smoothly at the Dutton Ranch. But when it comes to the bunkhouse, his burns come with a certain quiet intensity. Unlike the fiery and verbal Beth, Rip's burns hit harder because they're delivered with cold, calculated precision. Rip doesn't waste time with unnecessary words. When he speaks, it's sharp, direct, and powerful. His silence only makes the words he does speak that much more lethal. One of the most unforgettable burns from Rip happens in a scene where he's interacting with one of the ranch hands who's been causing trouble. The situation starts off with a bit of tension. One of the younger ranch hands is acting a bit too cocky, thinking he's earned his place among the seasoned workers. Rip, of course, doesn't let this slide. He watches for a while, sizing up the situation, before delivering a line that immediately puts the ranch hand in his place. Rip doesn't yell. He doesn't get emotional. He simply speaks, and his words cut right through the arrogance of the younger man. This burn is so effective because of Rip's delivery. He's not looking to make a scene or humiliate anyone in front of the others. He's simply reminding them of the harsh reality of life on the ranch. In Rip's world, talk is cheap, and actions speak louder than words. But when he does speak, every word carries weight. This moment doesn't just showcase Rip's intimidating presence. It also shows his wisdom. He's been around long enough to know that respect isn't given. It's earned through hard work and loyalty. When Rip delivers this burn, it's not just about putting someone in their place, it's about teaching them a lesson. Rip's burns are also particularly effective because they often carry a deeper meaning. In another scene, he exchanges a few words with Beth. The two have a complex relationship, filled with love, tension, and unspoken emotions. Rip knows exactly what buttons to push to get under Beth's skin, but he also knows how to show his affection in a way that doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. In one of their more heated exchanges, Rip delivers a burn that's both playful and serious at the same time. He reminds Beth of her own vulnerabilities, something that she's not quick to admit. While Beth is often the one dishing out insults, Rip's burn cuts deeper because it's a reminder of how well he knows her. It's not just about the words, it's about the history between them, the bond they share, and the trust that has built over time. What makes Rip's burns stand out is their emotional weight. He's not just trying to prove a point, he's often trying to communicate something deeper. When he burns someone, it's typically a reflection of their relationship, their shared history, or their current struggles. For Rip, a burn isn't just a clever insult. It's a way of showing his understanding of the person he's speaking to. And that's what makes his burns so powerful. They're personal, and they cut straight to the heart. Even in moments when Rip isn't the one delivering the burn, his presence in the bunkhouse often sets the tone for the other characters. The ranch hands know better than to mess with Rip, and even Beth, who's known for her sharp tongue, has learned to pick her battles with him. There's an unspoken rule in the bunkhouse. When Rip speaks, you listen. His burns don't just sting. They leave a lasting impression. They remind everyone around him that Rip isn't just a worker on the ranch. He's a force to be reckoned with. Rip's burns, unlike Beth's, often feel like a slow burn themselves. He doesn't rely on quick wit or biting sarcasm. Instead, his burns are calculated, deliberate, and effective because they force others to confront their own weaknesses and insecurities. Rip isn't here to amuse anyone with clever comebacks. He's here to make a statement, and his words leave a mark that lingers long after the conversation ends. For viewers, Rip's burns are a reminder that not all burns need to be loud or flashy to be impactful. Sometimes the most effective burns are the ones that come from a place of quiet strength and understanding. Rip's reserved demeanor only adds to the power of his words, making his burns some of the most memorable moments in Yellowstone. Ominiu said Lloyd Pierce, the elder statesman of the bunkhouse, has seen it all. His years on the ranch have given him a unique perspective on life, and his sharp wit is a product of that experience. Lloyd may not have the biting sarcasm of Beth or the quiet intensity of Rip, but when he delivers a burn, it's one that resonates because it comes from a place of wisdom and hard-earned knowledge. His burns are often delivered with a touch of humor, making them all the more effective. Lloyd knows how to make a point, but he does it in a way that keeps the mood light, even when he's cutting someone down to size. One of the standout moments in the bunkhouse involving Lloyd occurs in a scene where he's interacting with some of the younger ranch hands. The younger crew is eager, but they lack the experience and grit that Lloyd brings to the table. In this particular exchange, Lloyd delivers a burn that's both clever and subtle. The young ranch hand is showing off, trying to prove his worth by bragging about his skills. Lloyd, who's seen it all, doesn't need to make a scene. He simply delivers a one-liner that leaves everyone else in the room chuckling. The burn is effective because it highlights the difference between youthful enthusiasm and the quiet confidence that comes with years of experience. Lloyd's burn in this scene is an example of how he uses humor as a tool for both teaching and putting people in their place. He doesn't need to raise his voice or throw around insults. Instead, he uses his dry wit to show the younger ranch hands that they still have a long way to go before they can match up to the veterans of the bunkhouse. It's a subtle jab, but it gets the point across without causing a scene. Lloyd's burns are always calculated. He's not trying to humiliate anyone, but he's definitely not afraid to remind them that they're still learning the ropes. What makes Lloyd's burns particularly memorable is that they're not just about showing off his wit. They're about conveying a deeper message. In another scene, he's talking to Rip about the nature of the ranch and what it means to be truly loyal to the Duttons. The conversation is serious, but Lloyd still manages to throw in a quick jab that lightens the mood. The burn is a reminder that, no matter how tough things get, there's always room for humor and humility on the ranch. It's Lloyd's way of showing that you can be both tough and wise without having to take yourself too seriously. Lloyd's humor isn't just about delivering one-liners. He has a way of using his words to make others think. He often makes a point about the nature of the ranch life, the harsh realities the crew faces, and the importance of loyalty and respect. His burns, while funny, are grounded in truth. They reflect the experiences and struggles he's lived through. In one moment, Lloyd's burn is directed at a character who's been questioning the Duttons' methods. Lloyd's response isn't an insult. It's more of a pointed observation about the nature of loyalty and the price that's paid for survival on the ranch. His burn is effective because it forces the other character, and the audience, to think about what it truly means to be part of the Dutton family. It's a moment of clarity wrapped in humor, showing that Lloyd is more than just a grizzled ranch hand. He's a man who understands the stakes. What makes Lloyd's burns stand out is their relatability. Unlike the more intense exchanges between Beth and Rip, Lloyd's burns have a level of warmth to them. They come from a place of experience, and they don't come across as mean-spirited or overly harsh. Lloyd has a way of delivering burns that feel like gentle reminders of the reality of ranch life. His burns aren't designed to break anyone down. They're there to help the younger hands understand that they still have much to learn. Lloyd's wit is also reflected in how he handles conflict. In a particularly memorable scene, he steps in to diffuse a situation between two younger ranch hands who are about to come to blows. Rather than escalate the tension, Lloyd uses a quick, witty remark to break up the confrontation and remind them that fighting won't solve anything. His burn here is subtle but effective. It's not just about showing that he's in control. It's about teaching the younger hands how to handle their emotions and frustrations in a healthier way. Lloyd's burns, while not as flashy as Beth's, or as intense as Rip's, are no less powerful. They reflect the wisdom that comes with age and experience. They're delivered with humor, but they're always grounded in the harsh truths of ranch life. For Lloyd, a burn isn't just a way to get a laugh, it's a way to pass on knowledge and guide the younger generation. In the bunkhouse, Lloyd's burns are a reminder that sometimes the most powerful words come from those who have lived through it all. And though his burns may be wrapped in humor, they always carry a weight of truth that's hard to ignore. The bunkhouse is more than just a place to sleep after a long day's work on the ranch. It's a microcosm of the Yellowstone world, a place where emotions run high, Egos clash, and loyalty is constantly tested. But it's also a place where words hold incredible power. The characters who live and work in the bunkhouse aren't just defined by their actions. They're shaped by what they say, how they say it, and who they say it to. It's where the best burns come from, because it's a space where respect, power, and survival are all up for grabs. Every conversation, every insult, every clever remark is a reminder of the underlying tension that defines the world of Yellowstone. While we've already looked at the unforgettable burns from Beth, Rip, and Lloyd, it's important to remember that the bunkhouse is a place where every character has their own unique way of communicating. The burns we've covered are just a glimpse into the larger dynamic of the ranch and its inhabitants. Each character brings something different to the table, whether it's Beth's brutal honesty, Rip's quiet but impactful words, or Lloyd's dry humor and wisdom. But it's not just the main characters who get in on the action. The bunkhouse is filled with a rotating cast of ranch hands, each of whom adds their own flavor to the mix. One of the reasons these burns are so impactful is because they often reflect the personalities of the characters delivering them. In a world where power is constantly shifting, the ability to cut someone down with a well-timed insult can be as valuable as any weapon. It's not just about winning an argument. It's about establishing dominance and securing your place in the pecking order. In the harsh world of Yellowstone, where survival is never guaranteed, knowing how to wield your words can make all the difference. The burns from the bunkhouse also reflect the complicated relationships between the characters. For example, Rip's burns towards Beth are often loaded with emotional depth. Their history together means that when Rip delivers a burn, it's not just about the words, it's about the underlying feelings they have for each other. Likewise, Beth's burns aren't just about shutting someone down, they're about asserting her place in the world and forcing others to confront their own weaknesses. Every insult, every jab is a reflection of something deeper. Whether it's insecurity, power struggles, or unresolved tension, the burns are a way for the characters to communicate things they might not be able to say otherwise. But the bunkhouse is also a place where loyalty is tested. The characters may exchange insults, but at the end of the day, they all have one thing in common. They're working together to survive on the ranch. The burns, while harsh, are a way of showing where each character stands. They're a way of establishing relationships and boundaries, but they're also a way of showing that in the world of Yellowstone, respect is earned, and sometimes that respect is earned through a well-timed burn. The interactions in the bunkhouse show us that the ranch hands may be rough around the edges, but they're also a family of sorts. They may fight, argue, and insult each other, but when it comes down to it, they have each other's backs. The burns we see are often moments of tension, but they also provide insight into the unique bond that exists between these characters. In the end, the insults and clever jabs are just another part of the larger dance of survival, loyalty, and power that defines Yellowstone. As viewers, we're drawn to these moments because they offer us a glimpse into the raw, unfiltered emotions of the characters. These burns aren't just for show. They're a reflection of the lives the characters lead. They're not just words. They're weapons, shields, and tools of communication. They're a way of asserting power, expressing frustration, or even showing affection in a world where words can often speak louder than actions. In the end, the bunkhouse isn't just a place where the ranch hands work, it's where they live, fight, and thrive. It's where they show their true selves, through both action and words. And as long as there are characters like Beth, Rip, and Lloyd around, the burns will keep coming, sharp and fast, a testament to the brutal world of Yellowstone and the fierce personalities that inhabit it. So, next time you watch Yellowstone, remember, it's not just the action on the ranch that keeps you hooked. It's the words, the burns, and the way these characters use them to navigate the complex, often dangerous world they live in. Oh, Minnie.